A business environment is grouped into two. It is actually grouped into two, and these are the external environment, or that environment, or whatever is going to affect your business, but it is not within your control. And then it is also another category is the internal environment. That is what is within your business and you can easily control. Handling issues to do with environment, we look at, as I said, there are some external issues which affect the business or the people out there who have interest in the businesses, but whether they have a negative contribution towards your business, you may not have much to say or to do to such. And such, of course, include maybe the stakeholders like the government, the environment outside your control, may be about the legal issues, it might be about other economic issues, maybe is there inflation or not. It can be about political issues, where are there strikes, are there demonstrations to affect your business so that you may have to close all of a sudden. What is there? What makes that environment? So as business students, we need to know what that environment is. Internal environment. This environment is within your reach as a person, as the owner of the business, and you can easily actually control. And it may include the employees in the business. Yes, you have a group of employees, maybe somewhere, somehow along the way, you are not, they are not happy with maybe the policies, but you can control. You can go there, talk to them, and come to an agreement. And there are other, maybe the internal auditors could be part of that environment, and then other stakeholders could be the shareholders, those who actually may be invested in that business. And with those, the external environment was highlighting the issues about it is not easy to control, but the company needs definitely to recognize the potential opportunities in that environment so that you can benefit or take advantage of those opportunities, because there are opportunities which come by because originating from our external environment. The relevance of such a topic actually to the day-to-day, the learners, to everyone. And the highlights are, when you actually study this environment properly, you can be able to use your own strength which you have as an operator to stand out against the competition out there. You ensure that you can use exactly what you have and maximize the use of such. If you have a skilled labor force, utilize that very clear. These objectives, they are divided into basically two categories. They are the primary objectives, and those actually they are the objectives why the businesses exist. The businesses exist to achieve their primary objectives. We can also call them strategic, and these are long-term goals that may include the growth. What are you up to? I like to start a business and see it grow, see it expand. If I've started it here in Kampala, I like to see it expand to other areas. I like it to be seen in other towns, to ensure that that is my target, that is my major objective, or not all. And it should, the primary objective should reveal. You should make sure that your business, when you start it survives amidst all pressures from the internal and from the external environment. For the profit-geared organizations, one major objective that is primary is profit maximization. Then the secondary objectives, which can also be called tactical, I said that these are always a backup on how to accomplish the already stated primary objectives. Look at the benefits of having objectives on part of the businesses, and accordingly, when businesses set objectives, they are very clear to everyone. The employees who work in such businesses, well knowing the objectives, they are motivated to attain. They are actually moved to achieve those objectives. And many work towards that, work towards the achievement. Then they help employees understand what the job entails, and understanding it, internalizing exactly what the business is about, and then they work towards achievement. The objectives act, or they help focus. They also help in strategic planning, and they act as a benchmark. That is, when the objectives are set, you can easily evaluate objectives, needs, or the relevance of it is that it can help the businesses to devise the means of motivating the employees or the stakeholders. If you know that the shareholders, yes, they have a share in that business. What is their stake? What is their stake in my business? Of course, they want their dividends paid promptly. So if you get to know the stakeholders, their interests, what they are, you can easily handle so that you do not clash. Then it helps businesses to realize the power and the interest of different stakeholders, and definitely then know how to handle them. On that, actually it requires that you do the stakeholder mapping. Get to know who your stakeholders are. And in doing that, in knowing them, actually even go ahead and know what power do they have on your business? What interest do they have on your business? And here I brought a small example regarding the stakeholder mapping. And on the vertical, I brought about the stakeholder power, and down the stakeholder interest. Now, get to know in your environment who are those stakeholders that have power on your business. What is that have power? They can easily, and it is marked from low to high. On low, there are those who have actually no power. They are stakeholders, they have no power, and at the same time, they have no much interest in what you are doing. Yeah, here I say, these stakeholders, yes, they have no power, they may not change anything in my business. They have no interest, therefore I don't have maybe to go and ask them about or seek for their consent. But as a business, we need to know them. Why? Because when you get to know them, you can, and a situation can arise where such a group of stakeholders can be strategic, they can be tactical, long term or short term. But you have to ensure that you have a plan. Okay, I'm starting a business of a poultry farm. What is my long-term plan? What do I expect to achieve through this? So, like objectives, you have to have a very good plan for your investment so that you can always work according to that plan. And planning, as I said, you can have strategic or long-term plans. You can have operational plans, which are tactical, but you should also have the contingent plans. What are those contingent plans? You should ensure that if I have planned to achieve this, and through my plan I have also smaller plans, the tactical plans, how I'm going to achieve my grand plan. Now, suppose what I planned, my long-term fails. What is my fallback position? So there are always also contingent plans which should consider. Then other function which is very important is the controlling function, whereby looking at your resources, looking at what you have, there is no need always to ensure that you control your resources, you control, you evaluate your resources to ensure that you attain exactly what you intended to attain. Then need for coordination, that involves actually looking at how the organization can mobilize and unify the resources so that you achieve what exactly you intended to have. Then leading is one part which you should consider. Leadership in an organization is very, very important because actually without it, not much can be achieved. Who is going to ensure that workers are focus their attention on the organizational? And you also look at the traits of leaders. Are you borrowing some from a company? Does the person you are employing have such qualities which are going to help you? There is decision making, definitely. Communicate. There's need to communicate whatever. Communication, I would say, it is one major driving force. So some of the benefits of ensuring that you apply the functions of management in your business may include those. They help in accomplishment of goals. If you have a plan will focus your attention on what exactly is supposed to be done. It helps in being more efficient because if you have a certain plan, you have control measures, it will help us see how efficiently are we working towards the achievement of such objectives. Then it helps promote harmony. When you look at the issue of coordination, you have to ensure that there is unity of the resources, including the human resource. The other issue is the functional areas of management. This area is also equally important in the business management part. We have to ensure that we manage our finances. Actually, failure to manage, to control your finances would be terrible. And in this part, you include the financial reporting, whereby you have to look at your profits, the cash flows, inflows, look at your balance sheets, make sure those financial statements are done. And then, as a business, before maybe you wait for external auditors, ensure that there is internal auditing of those financial reports. Are they in agreement? Make a check, are they in agreement with what the cash inflows are, the outflows are they agreeing with the financial statements which are being done? And then also their financial ratios, how maybe some of them which we can pick are like the liquidity ratios, how can we control such ratios, how can we make sure that the assets which we have, if you consider like maybe the assets, if you consider the asset ratios, what I have, the promotion, the product, the place, and when looking at this area, ensure that you know what exactly does each stand for, and in the event of the competition around, how are you going to manage the price? How are you going to manage everything? Then products or the production, which is also called operations management. Here, whereby you look at my business is engaged in an activity. What are my inputs? How are they going to come in? What processes am I going to go through to ensure that my inputs which I'm putting in are going to result into the outputs that are going to satisfy the customer demands. And then you look at human resource. The human resource is brand. It is very, very important because that is the driving force that will help turn your plans into a reality. I said that there is need to display knowledge of each of the above functions and show why business organizations actually need such. Right. Then the common causes of students' failure of exams, these have been highlighted. Insufficiently explained answers, and at this level, there's need to actually, what brings insufficient explanation can be, what are the key or leading words in that question? If you're asked to explain, should you leave without explaining, and do you expect a full mark? 2, inadequate knowledge of the subject matter. Possibly this is brought by inadequate preparation or maybe spotting. That this time, maybe I'm not going to read this, I'm going to read this. Given scenario questions require the comprehension skills. What was the writer up to? And usually, there is always need for such, the answers to such questions need actually to be linking to such. Then insufficient preparation for the exam. Could be you didn't have time, but you have already tested, the exam time has come, what to do? You have to go and write. Then the examination fever and stress. There are those who actually, when they get into the exam room, the fever begins. Then poor time management. Poor time management is grave when you are writing an exam. Because when you don't manage your time well, it means that you are going to answer less questions than expected. And that is not good at all. Then illegible handwriting. Some people's handwriting can never be read. And that is to a disadvantage of the writer. So in answering questions, make sure that the handwriting used is actually okay. Then failure to correctly interpret the questions. So when the examination rubric is not well grasp problems are that you are not likely to perform well. Then expectations of the examiners here, I would say that there is need for the students or candidates to know or to get knowledge of the subject matter. Intensive reading is expected. There is need to master the examination rubric. If they say this paper takes such and such hours, if they say explain, don't just list, that will help improving the marks. Then the ability to present answers expected at the level. One answer which is not explained would not be for such a level. And therefore it won't fetch marks as expected. And then the ability to read and comprehend and therefore link answers to the questions is also important. The language skills, we have to write the language which can be understood by the readers. There are people whose language skills are poor, and therefore communication between the writer and the reader becomes very, very difficult. Then improvement in expression and presentation of facts and concepts is also a requirement, and there is also need for a good time management. Yeah, that is actually the little time I had, and I think with that there can be some help to the learners, and maybe let me just request